She was 3 months pregnant, glowing, excited. Her whole life was shifting. She was about to become a mother. She couldn't wait. But one evening, 26-year-old Kierra Coles walked out of her apartment in Southside Chicago and never came back. The next day, her car showed up, parked outside her building. Kiara was nowhere to be found. Police released surveillance footage, and what it showed stopped people cold. A man, alone, driving her car, calm, focused. He parks it, gets out, walks off like nothing happened. More than 6 years have passed since that moment, and still, no arrests, no charges, and the man last seen with her, he's living free in another state. While Kiara's family begs for answers, today I'm going to take you inside the disappearance of a young postal worker who had everything going for her. I'm going to show you how her case slipped through the cracks and why it never should have. We'll break down the surveillance footage, the timeline, the stories that don't add up, the evidence investigators claimed wasn't enough. This is the case Chicago left behind. But Kiara's family won't let it die. Welcome to Grave Kisses, where love rots, secrets scream, and the dead don't stay buried. Hit subscribe, like and share. If you're not afraid to dig a little deeper. Kierra Coles was the kind of woman everyone respected. The kind you wanted next door. The kind who made your workday better. The kind any mother would be proud to raise. She grew up on the south side of Chicago. She knew struggle. She knew how to hustle. By 26, she had earned her spot as a full-time mail carrier, something she fought for after 3 long years working seasonal shifts. People who knew Kiara said the same things. She cared. She worked hard. She lit up a room. She'd bring groceries to an elderly neighbor. She'd flash a smile to every person on her route. But what made her glow that fall in 2018 wasn't just her job. It was the life growing inside her. She was 3 months pregnant. She was planning for her baby. She was dreaming about names. She was building a future. Kiara lived near 81st and Vernon, in the Chatham neighborhood. A tight-knit, working-class community. The kind of place where people look out for each other. The kind of place where people notice when something feels off. And on October 2nd, 2018, something felt off. That's the day everything shifted. Here's what we know. Here's what the timeline shows. And in this case, the timeline matters. That morning Kiara called in sick. She said she wasn't feeling well. Normal enough for someone early in a pregnancy. But then things get strange. That evening, surveillance video shows Kiara leaving her apartment. She's wearing her postal uniform. Why would someone call off work, then head out dressed for the job? The footage shows her walking to her car. She's not alone. A man walks beside her. Someone she knew. Someone she trusted. Police say it was her boyfriend, but officially, they won't call him a suspect. So for now we'll call him the person of interest. According to Lieutenant William Savalier, cameras caught the two of them getting into her car. Kiara was behind the wheel. They drove off, left the block together. What happened next is unclear, but here's the critical detail. She left home in her uniform, but hours later, at 10:43 p.m., a security camera captures her withdrawing money from an ATM at Walgreens. She's now wearing civilian clothes. Somewhere in that gap, something changed. That clip at the ATM? That's the last time anyone ever saw Kierra Coles alive. But this story doesn't stop there. Because the very next day, October 3rd, the surveillance cameras recorded something else. The same security cameras caught something cold. The person of interest came back, alone behind the wheel of Kiara's car. He pulled up outside her building, parked, and walked inside like he belonged there. A few minutes later, he came back out, this time carrying things from Kiara's apartment. He loaded them into his own car and drove off. Kiara's car stayed right where he left it. Inside, her purse, her phone, her work gear, her lunch untouched, her prenatal vitamins still in her bag. She was clearly planning to come back, but she never did. When she didn't show up for work and stopped answering her phone, her family knew something was wrong. This wasn't like her. Kiara was solid, reliable, the kind of person who always called if she'd be late. Her family didn't wait. They filed a missing person report. Chicago police opened an investigation, and what they found should have been enough. The person of interest was the last person seen with Kiara. He had the keys to her life, her car, her apartment, and was caught on camera, taking things from her place after she vanished. When police questioned him, the lies started. At first he claimed he hadn't seen her that day. Then they showed him the footage. He changed his story, said he had been with her, but couldn't say why he lied, or what happened after that. The contradictions stacked up. He was the last one seen with her. He returned her car without her. He removed her belongings. He changed his story. He had personal access, and yet no arrest, no charges. Kiara's mother, Karen Phillips, refused to let silence bury her daughter. She became the voice of the case, speaking out, refusing to back down. In interview after interview, she's pleaded for answers, for justice, for someone, anyone, to care about her missing pregnant daughter. "I know in my heart that my daughter is not coming home," Phillips told reporters, "but I need to know what happened to her. I need to know where she is, so I can lay her to rest." She's begged the FBI to step in. She's held marches. She's stood up at community meetings. She's made sure Kiara's name wouldn't vanish. Her pain is raw, her anger justified. They know who they believe did this. The community knows too. The footage, the timeline, the lies. It all points in one direction. Still, the person of interest moved out of state soon after Kiara disappeared. He's been living free ever since. How is this man not in custody? Phillips asked during a 2022 press conference. How is he allowed to just move away and start a new life while my daughter is gone, and my grandchild never got a chance at life? That's where this case shifts. This isn't just about Kierra Coles anymore, but this isn't just about one woman disappearing. This is about something bigger. It's about a justice system that keeps coming up short. In 2020, Chicago police said they were done. They suspended the investigation, claimed they had followed every lead. But had they? They didn't close the case completely. They labeled it suspended. That means if new evidence comes in, they might reopen it. But let's be honest, what new evidence could possibly speak louder than video, showing the suspect's every move? Legal experts say there are reasons no charges have been filed. Technical ones, frustrating ones. First, there's the no-body problem. Without Kiara's remains, a prosecutor has to prove she's dead without proving how. That's a hard case to build. Not impossible, but much harder. Then there's circumstantial evidence. Yes, the surveillance video looks bad, but a defense lawyer could argue it proves very little. That it shows the person of interest with Kiara, shows him driving her car, but not harming her. And finally, there's the burden of proof. In a murder case, The standard is high, beyond a reasonable doubt. Prosecutors may have looked at what they had and decided it wasn't enough. But here's the thing, other cases have gone forward with less. That's what makes this so hard to swallow. The refusal to charge or arrest the person of interest doesn't just show caution, it shows a system that failed Kierra Coles. We may never know every moment of what happened that night, but the clues paint a clear picture. She didn't disappear on her own accord. In my opinion, that's what Senior Homicide Detective Will Sfeeler believes. He studied every second of Kiara's last known day. He says she called her mom that afternoon. She was out shopping for baby stuff, picking out her future. She was just so excited she didn't even know what to get. Nothing in that call said danger. No fear in her voice. No red flags. That was the last time Karen Phillips ever spoke to her daughter. Later, cameras caught Kiara bringing shopping bags into her building on the 8100 block of South Vernon. That night she left again. Detective Sfeeler says she got into her car with the person of interest. She was driving. They went to the 24-hour Walgreens on 86th and Cottage Grove. Security cameras caught her pulling money from the ATM. Hundreds of dollars. That was the final time Kierra Coles was seen alive. Police say after that, the man brought her car back alone. He parked it on her street before 11:45 p.m. Then something odd. He got out from the passenger side. Why would he do that? Detective Sfeeler can't say for sure. But he has a theory. It's not like you're opening a car into traffic. My speculation is he's staging the seat, perhaps sliding the driver's seat forward by hand to make it look like Kiara had been driving. Police say he walked to a second vehicle parked nearby, his own, and drove off. And that was it. No more sightings. No more answers. Just a mother still begging to bring her daughter home. Same person of interest. Yes. Still the only one caught on camera with her. Yes. Do investigators believe it all happened within an hour? Yes. I think the last time we see Kiara, she is unfortunately not alive much longer after that. That night moved fast. He came back alone. He walked into her apartment. He took things out, loaded his car, then vanished. That kind of behavior raises red flags. You don't clear out someone's apartment unless you're hiding something. You don't change your story to police unless you're worried about how the truth sounds. And you definitely don't leave town unless you're running. Innocent people don't pack up and disappear. They stay, they search, they help. But that's not what happened here. Artist Damon Lamar Reed painted Kiara's face onto a wall in Chicago, part of a project honoring missing black women whose names are too often ignored. His mural was featured in the documentary Still Searching, a film that helped shine a light on cases like Kiara's, cases the media left behind. As of 2025, Kierra Coles is still missing. Her case is officially considered high risk. Police suspect foul play, but still no arrest. The man seen with her last now lives in another state. He's never been charged with anything related to her disappearance. Chicago police say they don't have enough. Even with the footage, even with the lies, Kiara's family hasn't given up. They've raised the reward to $45,000 for any information. They hold vigils every year on the day she vanished. They are not letting this story die. But what hurts most, what stays with you, is the child she never got to meet. Kiara's baby would be 5 years old today. A little kid just starting kindergarten. They never got to laugh, never got to cry, never got to call out for mom. Kierra Coles was more than a name. More than a missing person flyer. She was a daughter. She worked hard. She had dreams. She had plans. She was expecting a life she'd never get to live. Her disappearance is more than a tragedy. It's a failure. A system that's supposed to protect women like Kiara didn't. Her mother said it plain. My daughter was somebody. She mattered, and she deserves justice. If you know anything about what happened to Kierra Coles, contact the Chicago Police Department at 312-746-7330 or submit a tip at cpdtip.com. The family is offering a $45,000 reward for information that leads to her. Share this video. Keep her story alive. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Hit like. Because every missing person deserves to be remembered, and we're here to make sure they are.